Optimal Brian. I'm kicking out Optimal Brian. I'm better than I've ever been. I'm kicking out Optimal Brian. I'm better than I've ever been. Shout out a famous birthday and find some online games to play. Have some fun, reflect and pray. Optimal Brian, Optimal Brian, Optimal Brian. Good morning. This goes out to wherever you are. This is Optimal Brian. It is February 15th. Don't even try to question me on that. 8:49 a.m. Brian DeMarco with Optimal Brian. I'm optimizing my day and hopefully also be able to optimize yours by following along. I am in the squeaky chair here. I am available at briandemarco.com. Music playing underneath is at briandemarco.bandcamp.com. So we will start right in with this. Birthdays, famous birthdays for today. So we have Galileo, born today. Susan B. Anthony up there, John Barrymore, Yarmer Yager, Seattle Slew. A couple other ones that I saw on here as I was going through was George Earnshaw. Was born in 1900. He was a pitcher for the Philadelphia A's and actually was on the mound for the World Series winning 7-1 game in 1930, which was the last of 5 championships won by the Philadelphia A's. Side note to that, that's been about 93 years, and those 5 championships for a Philadelphia franchise have yet to be met by any other Philadelphia franchise. The Eagles have 4, the Flyers, Phillies stuck at 2, Sixers as well. George Earnshaw won that 5th championship and just waiting for some other team in the city to tie them to come along. Cesar Romero was the Joker, the old Batman TV series. He wouldn't cut his mustache, so if you see some reruns of that, they just threw that white grease paint over his whole face. Chris Farley, also born today, back in 1964. And speaking of Cesar Romero and his Joker, Ron Cey, third baseman for the Dodgers in the 70s into the 80s, has a birthday today as well. He was the Penguin, so maybe perhaps noticing a theme on there. We also had on this date, Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali in 1978. Spinks died within the last couple of years here, but remembered for his toothless grin. We had them. He had a good life, but it was with a lot of those boxers and a lot of, I guess, celebrities. There was a little bit of too much too fast with him. I mean, he had a lot of money, and his career didn't quite pan out as well as his brother Michael did. I wanted to circle back from yesterday. At some point, had up here the 7 deadly sins, 7 heavenly virtues, and I believe we were talking a little bit. I was discussing pride a little bit. But I want to get into greed and envy because this dovetails with a walk I went on last night. A little bit of revelation last night. I think I got a little bit into greed. We're told, love thy neighbor. But when you love money and possessions above your neighbor, that's disordered love, and that's where greed comes in. See, oldie is the word we're going to start out with in this here. Get that in there and see how that does. Oh, that gives us a few different letters to work with. And I go for a lot of walks. In the past 5 years or so, I find them both physically and psychologically rewarding. Mentally clears your mind. During the walk, I was thinking about decisions made. I grew up in Wildwood, South Jersey, shore town, as much as anywhere. Family lived down there every summer. I think I enjoyed it pretty much more than anyone else I knew, too. Several years back, when I was about 40, my grandparents' house was sold. Now, I've worked in mortgages and knew the value of money, knew the value of property, of real estate, and of home ownership. Your money and your wealth is a key to freedom. There's probably no way I could have swung this, but I was thinking back, well, could there have been ways to me to hold on to that property? You know, put a lien on it, an investment property, things like that. It probably would have resulted in not moving to the house I we eventually moved to. But I was thinking, well, if I was a wily deal maker, I probably could have figured out a way to hold on to it. Or at least I convinced myself in my little daydream as I walked. And more so, if I had held on to it for, hey, there we go, for the last 15 or so years, wow, it would be much more valuable. You probably could have put 2 properties on there. I mean, you're talking, as I convinced myself walking along, it's $1 million investment at this time, and that was $1 million mistake, of course, now. So more. As I'm doing my little walk, it led me into 2 worlds coexisting. Right? The real world, where I was now, as I walked along, filled with regret, missed opportunity, and why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Versus this imagined world, where I'm bathed in luxury and walking into glorious sunsets. Shaken and awakened from this, there we go, from this daydream, I started thinking a little bit more on perspective of things. Climb out of the revelry, get back in line. We have a nice house. Sure, it's not fully paid for, but, we're getting there. We got some equity. We raised 3 kids. We had some time when the economy threw us out of work. We had situations where school bills, medical bills, credit cards running up at times, or trying to run them back down. Hell, I could use some home improvements right now. Yeah, we'd probably have to call a plumber after this particular call. But we made it through, and yet all I could think about last night was how we could have had more, and how there could have been things that are better. Nicer car, like that Wrangler. Nicer house, summer house, shore house, beach house. More luxury. Theater instead of a family room. And yet, I need to remember that I'm in a house that's twice the size of the one we had when we got married. It's got a real big backyard. It's got a lot of nice rooms in it, and more than ample for raising the family here. And I think, do we ever have enough? So what do we think? Do you think taunts? Or jaunts? See, that's where you... am I just missing something very obvious here? I mean, I know... I just don't want to get another one wrong here. All right. Well, so there I've now knocked out 3. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shots left to get 7 words. So some can be rather easy. Like here. Splat. I would hope all these can... am I just smile? So there you go. I'm down to no mistakes. These aren't going to get easier. Is that? No, it's like a high wire walk at this point. All right. So scare works. All right. I like the B before the L. Blend. Using everything. Not doubling up on anything. Nope. All right. Well, hey, if you got a BA to start a word, Bayou. Oh, skin of my teeth. No idea where I was at. But basically, to circle back, do we ever get enough? And is that desire for more greed? Or just using the gifts that we've been given to achieve what we can? Are we always, like Hemingway's always got that one that got away dangling on the end of the line, no matter how many catches you made. Poor man want to be rich, rich man want to be king, king satisfied till he rules everything. So here's where I got to. We talked a little bit yesterday about rationalizing too. So that could be what I'm about to do here, but I also thought from my standpoint, this would be providing me some perspective. In other scenarios, not necessarily the sharpest tool in the box. I could find myself puttering along right now, an old jalopy, coughing up exhaust fumes, dealing with a rear view mirror filled with regrets. And maybe that guy's dreams are basically what I have now. Were we destined for more? Have we, quote unquote, outkicked our coverage? Is greed that ambition we have? It helps to have some kind of a religious perspective on these things, because I think without it, we're just wailing about trying to make things up as we go along. Hey, let's throw away everything that others have talked about. Yeah, Thomas Aquinas, fine, go. Right? But I don't need that. I need to figure this stuff out in my own time. No. From a perspective standpoint, we should use that. We should use what lessons have been learned throughout time. Is greed that ambition that we have? And I'd say no. Greed is not solely the pursuit of money, but it's when it's displaced. So as for those dreams of having more, the last two kind of walked right into place. There's a line in a song that goes, last line of a song, someday we'll get to that place where we really want to go and we'll walk in the sun. But till then, I've always liked it specifically, that line, because of the but till then part. Because that tells me that we never really get to this idealized walk in the sun. Because we're walking there already. We walk it every day. And when we get to that happy place, want to someday have it where the bills are paid, the kids are grown, the house is paid for, whatever. No, now you're at a place where, well, that walk in the sun is going to be at the beach house, travel, what have you. And maybe that then leads to more wishes, right? I'm traveling, well, now I want greater adventure. It all starts with proper placement and prioritizing, in the grand scheme of things. For us, it was about raising the family. Gave some to charity, did volunteer work, got Eagle Scouts. But it was primarily about the quality of their upbringing as strong people. You know what? Let's scare out where the bees are here. Oh, there you go. So there's our Staley. There's our sequence. We won the first wordle with Cloud, so let's take that one over to the Times. That does almost nothing. So I also believe that along the way, we had what we needed. We had financial resources when it was needed, the support when it was needed. I think about that $1 million plus investment. I don't know what the other roads would have been. Actually, I see myself as someone who could be destructive if he had, blank checks, again, quote unquote, in different parts of life. Greed, envy, pride, all would then just become larger in life. Now, this could be steel, but I want to get a couple letters out there, so let's see what this does. Alright, so that did help. I just want to say, we managed to have what we needed. Even at times, I was looking back on wanting more. I'm going to go for one here that just, let's air out these letters. There you go. So the idea there is that we already had everything we needed. Okay, let's make some AI art out of all of this. My prompt, I decided to try to keep things simple. I'm going to use the words that we got in the two wordles that we did, which were cloud and salsa. So let's just say a salsa cloud in, we'll do pixel style above a bayou. That uses the words that we had for today, and we'll be back. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. There is your salsa cloud. above a bayou. Well, might try one of the other ones. This was Blue Willow. See if Midjourney or OpenAI DALL-E might be better. Damn, I'd like that beach house though. Go for walks along the boards. Know all my neighbors. I say hi to the folks in the bakery in the morning. Hey, how are the rolls? Get some coffee. Nighttime, watch the lights up the coast. And then I'd walk past one of those nice hotels and think about how if I had held on to that family place, I could have parlayed into a bunch of hotels. I'd have the nicest spot in town, you know. Envy, greed, pride. But I'd like to think it would be out of a place that thinking it's a nice place to have a family meet, a place for people to come together. So let's look at our reflection here. Recognizing the needs of others. Well, you know, envy and greed are problems, but wanting for your family, not necessarily. You know, my grandfather was in his 50s when he bought the shore home, and he kept it for a couple generations, extended family and friends, kept them together, a place to meet, decades. So today's reflection: do you see the need in those in your life? Are you aware of their wounds and burdens? Do you sense when they are sad and overwhelmed? Do you add to the sorrow? Do you seek to lift them up? Reflect upon the great gift of an empathetic and compassionate heart. True Christian empathy is a human response of love for those around us. An act of mercy we must foster so as to lighten the burden of those entrusted in our care. I think we once again dovetail into what we have here. The pursuit of these dreams, this wealth. Greed is obviously looking within oneself, but if you're doing it for others, you know, I have dreams that there's another act in our lives that can still be within reach. Old, but not over. And get there or not, it's something that we do, and like this, with others in mind, aware of others. You stay true to who you are. You follow those acts of mercy, of grace. It's not greed. And if the shore house never turns me into a real estate mogul, I can still take my walks. And on the boardwalk, in the morning, grab coffee and a bagel, and I'll get to that place where I can really walk in the sun. Until then, I'm Brian DeMarco, BrianDeMarco.com. This has been Optimal Brian, looking to optimize my morning and get my day started. Hopefully it helps with yours as well. Music you hear is available, BrianDeMarco.bandcamp.com. I am aiming at thrice a week to do this, and I've done thrice so far, so well, look, maybe start back up again next week, maybe have some more this week. Constantly retooling, listening and seeing where this could be better, because this also works into my professional life as well. Feel by doing, we get better. It doesn't become just an imagined walk. It's something that is tangible and exists and is out there, and that's how we get better at our skills. So I appreciate whoever, wherever, and till the next time.